Hello then and welcome to a brand new video. This is how Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. This is the algebra playlist and we are looking at multiplying binomials. In our earlier lesson, we said binomials or a binomial is just an algebraic expression that contains exactly two terms. We said we know it is a term if it is separated by what? Plus or minus. All right. So this was what we talked about in our previous lessons. Examples of these algebraic expressions include you have x plus. Examples of these binomials include x plus 2. You see, so this here has two terms. This being a term and then this also being a term. You can give a lot more examples. A minus 3 and 2m plus 5. All these are what? Binomial expressions. Now, we want to look at how to multiply two binomial expressions. And there are various methods we use, but then in this lesson, we are looking at the distributive law, how to distribute over it. So without much ado, let's quickly look into that as well. So talking of the distributive law, let's take a binomial, for instance, x plus 3 multiplying x plus 2. You see, all the distributive law seeks to do is you take one term out of the first binomial and you multiply it by everything you have over here. And then you take the second term and do the same over there. You see, so we are distributing all the terms over this bracket. You see, so starting with our x, we are going to have an x that is this here multiplying this whole bracket. You see, so then you have x into bracket your x plus 2. Then you come to the next term this here and take note of its sign. It is a positive 3. So positive 3, that is also multiplying this whole bracket. So into bracket x plus 2. You see, so after your first distribution, you now distribute what you have outside the bracket over what is inside the bracket as well. And what do I mean by that? This x now multiplies this. It also comes to multiply this as well. And same applies to the 3. So it multiplies this and also multiplies this as well. You get it? So that at the end of it all, we are going to get x here times x, which will give us an x squared. And we have the x multiplying the 2, which gives us a 2x. Then we have the 3 multiplying the x, which gives us a 3x. And then we have the 3 here also multiplying the 2, which would give us a positive 6. You see, so with this done, all that is left for you is to group like terms and simplify. So this gives us an x squared plus 2x plus 3x, which gives us a 5x, and then plus 6. This is our final answer after what? Evaluating this binomials here. So that is how we use the distributive law to what? Multiply binomials. Once again, all we do is you take your first term in the first bracket, multiply it by your other bracket, after which you take your second term, multiply it by this whole bracket, and that is what we did over here. You see, so after that, you now use your first term or the term outside the bracket to multiply each term inside the bracket. Same applies to the 3, you see, and that gives you this here, which is left to be evaluated. Let's take some few more examples. Now, in this example here, we have to simplify x minus 4 in one bracket, multiplying another bracket x plus 5. So how do we go about it? So as we have earlier on said, make sure your first term here multiplies this whole bracket. Then the second term also multiplies this whole bracket. And as you work it out, take note of your signs, your integers. So for the first one, as I pointed out, you have your x multiplying this whole bracket here, you see. And if we do that, we are going to get an x, then into bracket our x plus 5. That is done for the x. Then the next term, which is a positive 4. So positive 4, sorry, which is a negative 4. So negative 4 into bracket are x plus 5. After this, you now multiply what? The term outside the bracket by each term inside. You see? So negative 4 times all of this. You see? So the first one here, we have x multiplying x. X multiplies x to give us x squared. And x multiplies 5 to give us a positive 5x. Then we have our negative 4 multiplying x. So negative 4 multiplies x to give us negative 4x. Whilst negative 4 multiplies 5 to give us a negative 20. So at this point now, all we do is we simplify. You see, in talking of simplification, we look at the terms that are what? Common. The like terms. You see, there's no term having an x squared. So the x squared repeats itself. Then our 5 minus 4. That gives us a positive x. Then we are left with our negative 20, which has no other like term. Hence, this here is our final answer, straightforward. Let's solve one last question, and I think that'll be it. Now, in our last question here, we have what? X minus 5 all squared. X minus 5 all squared. You might think they are not two binomials, but they are, because x minus 5 all squared applying integers, it is telling us that x minus 5 is multiplying itself again, so that we have x minus 5 multiplying x minus 5. In view of that, our question has now become x minus 5 times x minus 5. You see, and using our rule, x comes to multiply everything over here, so that's negative 5. So that we are going to get an x multiplying your x minus 5. Then over here, you have your negative 5, which would multiply your x minus 5 as well. So evaluating further, we have x times x, which gives us x squared. Then x times negative 5, that gives us a negative 5x. Then we have our negative 5 multiplying x, negative 5x as well. Then take note of what we are going to do next. Negative 5 times negative 5. That gives us a positive 25. So at this point, we now what? Simplify by simplifying the like terms. The x squared has no other like term, so it's maintained as x squared. The negative 5x minus 5x gives us a negative 10x. Then we have our plus 25. So basically, this is how we evaluate binomial expression, that is multiplying one binomial by the other. Now, these are some exercises you can try your hands on. They are just two. The first one and then the second one. The first one, you have to do what? Multiply the following binomials, and you have 1 to 5. Then the second one, you have to expand and then simplify. They all mean the same thing. I do hope this video was helpful in your learning journey on algebra. If there's anything or any issue of concern, you can always let me know at the comment section and I'll get back to you. This is How Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. If this is your first time, you can always choose to subscribe. That is if you so do wish. So that anytime I release a video, you'll be notified as well, so you can learn along. Stay safe and then stay blessed. Bye.